Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we return to the Rosen score to get the trophy where the first letter of each move spells out your opening. You can see down here we've gotten every single one except for BeachCafe, which has been the hardest by far. Let's get started with game number 1. Okay, for this challenge I've decided to play 3-0 because it gives me time to think but also gives me the chance to possibly flag the opponent. So we start with B, and I'll go ahead and pop this up so you guys can clearly see the opening because we do need to spell out BeachCafe. So with a B move we start with B. We'll go E next. B-E, we need A, then C, and you can see the opponent is probably already starting to catch on. We have B-E-A-C-H, and then the last thing we need is A, or rather C, A, F, and then E, which is going to be pretty darn bad for the position. So we have beach, we have C, we need A. The worst part is if the opponent tries to capitalize on it, I can't really stop and defend myself. F, and then E is the last move, and we just hope and pray that somehow I can survive that position. Oh, they've stopped us from moving the E pawn. So we've done beach, calf, but we don't. Does this count? They've done an E move. Oh, we were so close, but no cigar on that one. Okay. So I guess now we just play like a normal position. We'll go knight C6 and try to strike the center. Should they take, I'll take back with the knight. And I'm looking to as quickly compensate for my terrible opening as I reasonably can. So we do take with the knight. We're extremely behind in development. You can see the opponent is taking advantage of our weak squares. We'll try to block that attack as best we can, but realistically, our entire position is just full of weaknesses. They do take here. Should I take back? They have this take on D6. If I move the pawn out of the way, there's knight to C7, and this might already be toast. I guess taking back is the best move. I'd rather lose a pawn than, lose a rook or push and allow that anyways. We get queen to D2. Ooh, that's actually not that challenging because now I can go E5 with tempo on the bishop. So I stop the bishop from attacking my weakness with tempo on the attacking piece, meaning they have to move it. Oh, they pin my pawn instead. That's a very creative way to defend. I'm going to go here, breaking the pin on the pawn and once again threatening the bishop, and you can see I'm very sneakily trying to develop and hopefully castle at some point. We get rook to D1. So should I take? They want to take here with check. It would move my king out of the way, but I'm not totally sure that there's a follow-up there. It does look pretty darn scary though, I have to admit. So, I can't castle because the bishop stops me. What if I go bishop to A6? I can get rid of either the knight, which is targeting D6, or the bishop, which is looking at all of our weakened squares. Holy sacrifice. Okay, what happens? I can't take because there's this pin. Ooh, spicy. I kind of have to anyways just to get pieces off the board, but I can't do this final capture. Yeah, I just desperately need to trade pieces, so I'm going to get rid of the knight, move the king out of the way, and we've managed to at least alleviate a little bit of the pressure. You can see we've traded off some of the pieces, so the attack is a little bit less concrete. I am way down on time though, so I have to be careful of that. Let's go here, target the bishop. Nice, they've pinned my bishop, but I'm going to remove the pin and target H4 once again. We're put in check. We'll go here. G6 is possible. It's a lot of very defensive play. I'm going to go here. Now king to H8 should just be totally safe for our king. Oh, actually, they have this though. Creating the battery and threatening mate. So then G5 or G6 would be forced to defend H7. We're on our final limb here. We'll go G6 and target the queen right away. I'm not going to give them the opportunity to set this up. Yeah, queen goes back to G4. That I like a little bit better. Now I can take queen to G5. Trying to force a trade. Oh, wait, I have bishop takes F2 here. Hits this, hits the rook. I do only have 30 seconds though, so I have to play pretty darn fast here. They might look for queen to D7, and I don't know if there's a threefold there. I don't think there is after king to H8 though. I've just realized I pre-moved this. Oh, they resigned. Okay, nice. With that, we don't get BeachCafe, but we do win the first game despite playing that terrible opening. All right, we are now 1 for 1. Let's go to move on to attempt number 2. All right, attempt number 2. Usually if you have the white pieces, you have a slightly better chance. I'm going to move quickly so the opponent doesn't have too much time to think about what on earth is happening. So I have B-E-A-C, I need H, and then I need C-A-F-E. So C, please don't think about it. A, sure, take if you want to. F, just don't play check. I can go E. No, how does the same thing happen again? I was so close. Now I have to play this position. Holy smokes. Okay, we'll take here with the bishop. On the bright side, they can't be an opening prep anymore, guaranteed. But that's literally the only bright side, is that there's no opening prep. Everything else is bad for us in this position. Okay, they do castle out of the way. I suppose I should take advantage of the fact that they haven't checked me yet to castle as well. Sure, bishop to F5. We'll go ahead and seize the center. Knight C3. Maybe like bishop to A3. Seems reasonable. They target C2. That seems to be sort of a recurring weakness. Now, luckily this time it's not a fork, so I can just move out of the way and threaten to capture the knight. I would happily take these two pieces for my rook. So they either move the knight back and allow me to double my rooks, or they basically just allow the capture. I'm also going to be way more careful on time because the last opponent decided to resign because we got a pretty substantial advantage, but this opponent might not, and I might not also get quite as lucky as I did in the first game. So I'm going to try to pick up the pace just a little bit. Yeah, we'll move the rook out of the way. We're now doubled up looking at f7, which I think should be a pretty prominent weakness. We do get c5. We'll play knight t5. Hits f7, unleashes the attack on the bishop. I'm going to kind of just ignore whatever they're trying to set up. Ooh, bishop to e6 is kind of nice. Cuts off this bishop from attacking, and if I do take, the pawn takes back. It is a weakness, but this opens up. So f7 itself is not a weakness anymore. Okay, but I'll bite. We'll see what we can make of that. We'll take. The pawn takes back. Sure, the knight is there forever pretty much. What do I want to do with this bishop though? Yeah, these positions are always so fuzzy. Let's go knight to b5. Guaranteed that's a good spot for the knight. Very, very active. It's supported by the pawn. We can always take this back. And this is what I was kind of waiting for. I wasn't sure if I wanted to put the bishop here and have it staring into my pawn. I mean, it would be a nice defensive piece, but I think I'd rather just lose this pawn, to be honest, and have my bishop developed or sacked or attacking in some fashion. Okay, knight to c6 targets the knight. Should they take, I can take back. Kind of just fixes my pawn structure, I'd imagine. So I'll go ahead and continue with bishop g5. I think that's fine. Again, I have to watch the time situation. Wait, are they going to take and then allow me to take this? No, they have knight to e4. But I have, wait a second, there's something here. Hold on. There's this, and there's this. I can't be convinced that there's not something very good for me here. Okay, I can take here and I have to win some sort. Oh, they can take with the rook. Oh no, but I pick up the bishop. Yep, I'm winning material. These questionable openings are somehow kind of working. So it's not a lot of material, but I have two pieces for a rook, which I feel pretty good about, to be honest. Especially with all the outposts. Oh, they don't even take. That's actually highly amusing. So what are they trying to get me to do? Rook to f7, you'd imagine. And I don't think they can actually displace my rook. So I actually do get to hold on to the extra piece, it seems. I would like to obviously move this bishop sooner rather than later, even to d6, see if I can bait a trade, but we get knight to d2. I mean, I'd rather not just dance around with my rook. I don't have a whole lot of options. I guess rook to f4. I'm under a minute. I need to pick this up a little bit. Okay, knight takes b3, sure. Maybe I even just attack. Like, what if I go here? I don't know if that's too unhinged. Yeah, probably. Ooh, there's knight c7 though. Ooh, fork on the rooks. Don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do pick up a little extra material. Rook to f8 is forced mate if they take back my knight. Nice, and we do get the resignation. Okay, so this is turning into a different video than I thought. We're 2 for 2 now with this absolutely ridiculous opening, but it's been kind of fun? Question mark? I'm not so sure. And in chat, somebody says W speed. All right, let's go ahead and move on to game number 3. Get the black pieces this time. BeachCafe is just very hard to reach. It's just hard to get that last move. Twice we've been thwarted by the exact same e5 move, which I guess is pretty natural. All right, we have BEA. We need C, which is almost guaranteed. We need H, which is also almost guaranteed. Beach is not the hard part to get to. If there were an award for beach, I would already have it twice over. Now I need cafe, which is C, A, F, and then E. Oh goodness, here we go. Okay, A, it's still possible. It's still very possible if they just ignore and continue developing. F, I just need the E pawn to move. That's all I need. As long as they don't take. If they play anything but taking, I'm doing really, really well here. Nice. Okay, I suppose I should take. Or maybe I should play E5. I mean, this is also an E move and it's a fair trade, so I'm gonna go with that instead. Okay, so we officially have beach, cafe, boom. It's done, it's on the board. Now I just have to deal with all of these problems, which is not gonna be fun at all. But we will give it our best effort. I'd imagine we start by developing. I mean, the biggest issue is that this king is in a terrible position. So we get these pieces developed. Castling this way is now possible, even though it's admittedly not the most concrete looking situation. But what's the standard here, right? How can the standard be play concrete moves when this has been our opening? We get knight to e4, targets the bishop, which is obviously awkwardly placed. Let's go here. If they do want to trade, I'm totally fine with leaning into an endgame because I have way better chances, despite my weird pawn structure. I have way better chances playing out an endgame than I do this current position. Okay, that's free. If d6, I just come back and take it. So you'd imagine they take, I take back, and actually suddenly we're looking pretty good. Oh, d6, we'll take that too. We'll take that. Oh my goodness. Oh, I've been finessed. Oh, I've been absolutely, okay, this is no place to die, but wow, I've been absolutely finessed. Very well played by the opponent. Obviously, the biggest weakness we had is our king. I had no clue the opponent was built like that. That was an incredible find. There's also queen here, which would be kind of crushing. Let's go knight out. Obviously, I'm still gonna try to play for a win, but holy smokes, that was a very nice find. Okay, what on earth do I do here? d7 is falling apart. start. What do I have? Rook to e6 is free. Let's maybe not do that since the pawn would be pinned. Yikes. Can't move my bishop because there's mate here. Can't develop my rook because all of these pieces trap it. Yeah, let's go knight e5. Why not? Let's lean into a trade. Hopefully they take. Oh, actually I should have moved this knight, but okay, we get to do it anyways. With the idea that there's this check winning the bishop and we defend this. Okay, we get checked. There's only one legal move there, which is king to e7. And now that the light squared bishop isn't on the board, we can walk this way and not be as scared of it, but we should still be very much scared of the situation that we're in. Okay, super concrete move, just defends. Let's go h5. Tickle the pawn structure a little bit. Obviously, I'm trying to bait them into taking. They don't. I will take anyways, though. Rook here. It's very weirdly coordinating all of my pieces, but I'm trying to defend the rook and then maybe have a rook lift and this. There are very playable ideas here, and I need to keep my eyes peeled for tactics, because if there's ever a sacrifice and somehow I get like a fork that wins the queen, then I'm golden. We'll go here, target the pawn. I'm also down to 30 seconds, so I might have to just be quiet here for a second and focus. Yeah, okay. The opponent managed to convert. They played that very, very well. There's not really anything that I can do here. I can sort of try and run away for a stalemate, but they're going to trap me in the corner, and pretty much anything they do here is a winning idea. We'll try for stalemate, because why not? Sure, they don't even care, because they have forced mate. GG's to the opponent. Very, very nice find there in the middle game. We came this close, but we're now 2 for 3, losing the actual attempt that we get, but we dive straight into game number 4. Let's go B, E. I feel like the faster I play it, the less likely they are to think about what's happening. So we have beach on the board. Now I need C. Just keep developing your pieces. You're doing great. Don't worry about what I'm doing. A, F, and then E. E is always the hard one. Okay, F. Actually, how can I ever do E? It's impossible. Well, okay, we're here now. And bishop B4. I have knight C3. I mean, it's survivable. Okay, we're now just basically playing a normal game where I have a significant disadvantage. Okay, we're losing this. Knight to C2 is on the board. Obviously, the bigger priority is knight to C2. Should they take, I can always just kind of move the rook out of the way. Also, I love their name. That's so funny. G4, G5, best by test. And I get skewered. Okay, distracted by the name. Classic name gambit. Okay, I'm gonna move my king out of the way. If they let me run away with it, I will, but they don't. They do take. Okay, rook there, pins this, or rather skewers it. I guess I can go back and defend. I'd have to move this knight, move this bishop out of the way. It's not looking great. Okay, I can't take that though. Then here, if they go rook D2, yep, because they haven't connected their rooks yet. The bishop is still stopping this one from developing, but they do just take back. Fair enough. Might as well play here. Try for d8. They're probably just going to take, and then defend the back rank. Ooh, bishop to e6. I was kind of hoping I'd have this skewer, but they don't lean into that. We'll develop the knight. If I can keep them from connecting their rooks, maybe I have a loose fighting chance. Sure. I'm not super concerned about taking pawns or anything. I basically have to play either for mate or for a huge material advantage. So going around trying to pick off pawns is probably not going to get me very far. Okay, pawn comes down. I will go to the 7th though. It's usually a pretty good place to attack from. Rook to e8. Okay, I know what I said about picking off pawns, but if they're going to let them drop one by one, then okay, then I'll lean into them and grab them. Ooh, g5 check. I move up. I mean, if I can mate them back here, that would be absolutely insane, supported by the bishop. Not to mention the clock is looking a little questionable for them. They're under a minute now. Rook shuffles over, sure. Is there a tactic? I could go here and target this, and f6 with the knight at the same time, which I really like the look of. This is still not possible, covered by the king. Looks pretty good. Bishop f7 seems like one of the only moves. Oh, rook to f7 does allow check. So I'm going to take first, right? Because they wanted me to take there and then take here. Oh, but they target the knight with the king. Oh, good find. Okay, well, I will take, and then I'll take on g5. Yeah, well played by the opponent. Good find there. Good resource. Oh, and I'm getting mated on h6. Oh, very good find. Yeah, GG's. Okay, we didn't manage to run away with that one either, but I thought that was a pretty good game. All right, straight into the next one, head first. No time to waste. We'll go B. We'll go E. This is torture at this point. A, C, H. You're leaning into it. C, A, F, and then E is guaranteed. Okay, E. Nice. It's on the board. It's done. I genuinely think the best thing I can do for myself now is just play as fast as possible so the opponent doesn't think too much. Because as soon as the opponent starts thinking about what on earth is happening on the board, they're going to realize that I'm way worse. Okay, we get the queen trade, which I think is good. The bishop is now targeted, which is not good. And I don't have a way to defend it, which is really not good. Bishop e5, but then I trade off the bishop. That doesn't seem ideal. Can't really play for ideal. I just have to play for practical. So I will go for the... Oh, there's knight c7. No. I'm not doing that to myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know that I always play the games out until the very end. I'm not torturing myself with that. B-E-A-C-H. That's beach. Oh, C would allow this. That's so bad. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm not gonna lean into that either. That's just silly. Okay, I'll play this one out normally as well. We'll just go knight to F3. So we've abandoned the plan, which is a little bit of a shame, but I'm not gonna play down a rook. That's just insane. Let's go A4. Is that weird? Let's go here and target C5. Pin the knight. Looks fun. Looks interesting. Go ahead and take this way. Oh, they just castle out of the way. Fair enough. I'll do the same. There's still like weird ideas going on here, but I don't think I can make anything of them. Probably just A6, yeah. Boots the bishop. We'll move out of the way. E5 probably follows soon, but I'll fight for the file. I think we're doing fine. Sure, rook to C1. Yeah, knight to D6. There's not really anything interesting going on. We're both just marginally improving our positions. Sure, we'll go to double the rooks. I mean, there's an open file. We might as well try and fight for it. E5. D5 would be an isolated pawn, so I think I do want that trade. And then knight to F3, covers H2, hits the bishop. Bishop does move back. Do I double up here, or do I try to put pressure on the D pawn? The problem is the D pawn is defended by the bishop. The other problem is D4, right? This is pinned, so D4 would unleash the bishop. Let's go here. For the time being, we'll threaten rook C7. Okay, they don't see it, so rook C7. Although this is a good idea, it doesn't, I don't think, excuse them from losing a piece. Yeah, so the queen goes, oh, the queen goes back, so I have to take here first. Oh, maybe they're not losing a piece. I mean, there's this though. So they are losing a piece. In fact, they're losing the game now. Okay, I can't really take any credit for whatever it was that just unfolded there. I was just trying to put pressure on the opponent's position, and to be totally honest, it just worked out in my favor. Moving on to the next game, I have no idea what game we're on at this point. Once we start counting past 4 or 5, I start getting confused. So we have B-E-A. I mean, playing this opening, B-E-A-C-H, is pretty much self-mental torture. All right, please, just allow me to move the E-pawn. Just allow me to move the E-pawn. Play like knight G6. Sure, that rook is yours. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not gonna give them both rooks, but they can take one of them. Okay, they decide on that one. We'll move this rook out of the way. The problem is, the more times that I abort and shy away from playing it, the less chances I will have to actually get a victory. Now, obviously, there has to be a certain balance, right? I have to be able to compensate. Okay, they just take there, and this is donezo pretty much. But there obviously has to be a certain balance. We'll target this. The last Hail Mary idea is try to get in on the light squares, and somehow they completely lose their minds and don't defend it. But the more times that I abort, I'm already in a way worse position. The question is, what's my personal threshold for, okay, this position is totally insane to play. I hope they take so I can hit this and stop the bishop going back to E4. Okay, they trade. It's not bad, actually. Not bad at all. Oh, they take with the queen. Okay, that might be bad because they might be looking for a queen trade here in a sec, which is pretty much game ending. Queen to A8. If I take, there's bishop F4. To be fair, they're up so much material that there's always going to be something, so it is what it is at some point. Sure, bishop to F4. We'll go here, just hang around. They do take. We have to move the king out of the way. And to be totally honest, I think I'm going to give it one more try after this, but I'm not going to run my own mental health into the ground trying to play a nothing burger opening to get the last trophy. We get rook to E1. Like, again, the only way I win this, like, if they take here and then forget about the F pawn, magically I get queen G2, but, you know, realistically, the odds here are very slim. Wow, they do take. Don't do that to me. Don't give me hope. They know what they're doing. They're giving me hope just to rip it away. Oh, look, E4. Wouldn't that be an amazing strategy for the opponent? Definitely not undefending anything super important there. E4, control the center. Remember your principles, dear opponent, who I very much care about and am not trying to beat at all. Look, you've dropped a pawn. This is what happens when you don't control the center. Oh, they've baited me into trading the queens. All right, GG's. They figured me out. All right, we'll play one more. I'm going to end up under 2,000 at this rate. So we'll play one more. If I end up under 2,000, I'll do a consolation game to get myself back over 2,000, and then I'll call it a day. But we have B, E, A, C, H, C, A, and then F, and then E. So F, please just do anything but take so I can move the E pawn and have a chance. Just play like rook to E1 or something. That works. Bishop E5, amazing move. Okay, so we have Beach Cafe on the board. Now I just have to not lose the game. Again, I think trading pieces is one of my best resources, so I'll start there. I'm a little bit scared of this, but maybe this knight will defend backwards. Okay, the queen comes out. Oh, targets the rook, sure. Rook to A7. Very, very sketchy position already, but somehow they can't yet take over the light squares. I mean, to be honest, if I were the opponent, I would probably just sack on E5 and go insane down the middle of the board, because what am I going to do about that? Oh my goodness. No way. That's such a good find. Yeah. The pawn is pinned, so it's not a free queen. It's literally check, and it's forcing me to give up material. That's okay. You know what? I gotta tip my hat to the opponent. That is a very, very nice resource. Very nice find. Obviously, I'm gonna try to force the queen trade, even though I'm down material. Checkmate ends the game. So I need the queen off of my king, even if it takes me into an endgame where I'm down a piece. I mean, to be honest, odds are they're not even gonna trade. They're gonna like take on b6 or something, but I'll try. I will suggest, hey, what do you think of a queen trade? What? Hello? Queen to f7? Why can't I just take? Was that a mouse slip? Oh my god, that has to have been a mouse slip. There's no way. Queen to f7 is just after queen to e6, queen to f7, that's a mouse slip. Oh my god, that's devastating. Okay, if I clutch this up, I'm winning. I just need to not blunder. So let's go here. Don't really care if they take. I just want to decentralize the knight. We'll go here next, and I'm gonna play this kind of passively, but I just want to castle and then convert. I'm up on material. I'm up on time. There are no excuses here to lose this. Sure, take on d7, all you. Now trade pieces. That's all I need to do. I'm up a queen for crying out loud. I genuinely just need to trade pieces. That might be free in a second. That is, oh no, they take back with the knight. Good find. But again, still completely winning. Rook to d8, tax the open file. That's good. This is very good. I'm so scared of myself, I can't even explain it. Here, trade the knight, or at least try to. If not, knight t2 is always a dangling threat. Knight takes c2 is always an idea as well. We'll take back with the rook. Looks at e4, looks at the open file. Also good. Queen to h5 targets the rook. f3 defends it. Sure. Speaking out loud very slowly to make sure I always understand what's going on. I'm still up on time. Check is nice. King shuffles over. There are attacking ideas here. Don't know if I lean into them quite yet. We'll play a waiting move. We'll play h5, see what happens. See what the opponent is thinking, what they're feeling. Are they feeling defensive? Are they feeling like pushing some pawns? There are a lot of ideas here. They feel like resigning. And if you check up here, you will see we have B, E, A, C, C-H-C-A-F-E, Beach Cafe, which means that if I come back over here and run my Rosen score again, we should have the Beach Cafe award. I swear chess.com can hear when I say, okay, this is going to be the last game, because I always get paired with an opponent that does exactly what I need them to do. I'm not going to deny Beach Cafe has by far been the hardest one, so I'm not totally surprised it was an element of luck, but I was thinking more like time scramble blunder type of luck, not literally queen to f7 straight up. The only explanation that I can think of is mouse slip. They clicked on their queen, all the dots came up of the possible moves, they hovered their mouse and accidentally clicked. We scroll down, you can see we've officially done all 8 of the Eric Rosen alphabet openings. Now, this doesn't mean that there isn't a lot left to do. I did think it was kind of funny that I have clutch pawn, win with 1 pawn while down 10 points of material. That means you only have a single pawn on the board and you're down more than 10 points of material. And I also have, by the way, I have several of these. I have 4 instances of clutch pawn and I have 5 instances of flag of an opponent who had mate in 1. Young children close your eyes is hilarious. And these are the people that I have it against, which I think is funny. Oh, they actually list out who I have it against. Oh, that's kind of interesting. But anyways, and I love the title. I feel so dirty. Anyways, before I get distracted again, the point is there are a lot of other challenges here, but we are completely done now with the alphabet openings. So if you'd like to specifically see me attempt a different one of these, let me know down below. If not, do not worry. I will happily pick one out myself. If you guys did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next one.